Blaze Comics here, and I am back with another trade paperback review on Blaze Comics, and this is my first DC trade, first DC collected edition that I have ever read. I've read DC singles, of course. You guys are keeping up on the short comic reviews, I hope. But yeah, this is my first collected edition. I do have another one, Batman by Scott Snyder, waiting to be read, an omnibus. That'll be my next omnibus after Guardians of the Galaxy. But that is not this video. We're talking about Zatanna today. This is Zatanna. It's Showtime by Jamal Cambell. He's the writer, the artist, and the letterer, I believe. So this is awesome, guys. It's 6 issues. This is the cover. And then this is the back. It's an awesome read, guys. I can't wait to dive into it with you. 6 issues. It says the Mistress of Magic is back. Collects Zatanna 1 through 6 from 2025 last year. This is the lead up to the current ongoing, which I do have. I have issue 2. I don't have issue 1 yet. But yeah, I'm super excited to get into this. I really enjoyed reading it. It's super crazy, super mystical, super trippy even at times. But it's all about Zatanna, the mistress of magic. So let's get into it. In the next clip, we're going to dive into this book, and we're going to talk about the story itself, and then we'll conclude with my final thoughts, what I rate it, and why I'm continuing to pick up Zatanna, because it is definitely because of this book right here, guys. So I'll see you in the next clip. All right, guys, let's get into the Zatanna trade paperback. But first, this trade has made me get the new DC ongoing Zatanna, but I don't have issue 1. I only have issue 2. Issue 1 is coming, so I haven't read this yet. Expect a review on this later. But the main focus of this video is Zatanna. It's Showtime by Jamal Cambell. Art and story. Here's the back. And then here's this, if you guys want to read this. Contains Zatanna 1 through 6. So let's get straight into this awesomely depicted book. Okay, guys? We start off in issue 1. We get a little bit of backstory about the Queen of Light and the Queen of Shadow, which play a big important part later in the story. But we also get a little backstory on Zatanna, and this is that complex art, guys. This is just so phenomenal. But essentially, this little bit of backstory is just the beginning to the show. It's Showtime. Zatanna, awesome splash page, and then she's doing her magical performance. So issue 1 is getting to know her crew, and Adam, who is a main player in this story as well. He is a magician in training. And then we get the Lady White, who is also a main player in this story. But essentially, this first issue is getting to know everybody, and they get captured through time because they're obsessed with this Lady White, and Zatanna has to go find them and save them. But in that doing, she gets stabbed by this sword. This sword dampens her magic and makes her crack every time she uses her magic, like it's seen here. And she can't figure out what the sword is. She's doing, in issue 2, we get a little more backstory, but she goes to the Blue Demon, her friends, in, let's see, I forget what it's called, but it's called something. This dead place. So she goes to find them. She asks for help, but she realizes she can't get the help because she'll just put more people in danger. They do try to help her. The Blue Demon offers to help her. Her other friends try to help her. And forgive me if I don't know everyone's name and all the lore to Zatanna. This is my first ever Zatanna book that I've read, guys. So we're in issue 2 here. She's trying to get this sword out. She can't do it. She goes back to the Shadow Crest, which is like her home. It's like the Sanctum Sanctorum of Marvel for Zatanna, though, in DC. And she is trying to do this ritual to get this sword out of her, but it just will not work. And she realizes Adam is gone. Adam has been captured. And then this is our first show of the Lady White and then the Brother Knight, who is the mastermind behind this whole thing. Well, that's what it seems, right? Until we get later into the book. So the Brother Knight has this scheme to capture Zatanna, capture all the people she wants to dampen her magic, and this is an awesome page of this book, guys. Zatanna and the Blue Demon have teamed up because he has basically not allowed her to do this herself. They go to a tarot reader to show the destinies of what is to come, and then they see Adam here captured, but that is not Adam. Well, it is, but he is dead. Spoiler alert, I guess I'll put it when I edit this video, these spoilers. But then we get some backstory, or this is like an alternate reality within the Lady White's construct of Zatanna. She meets what seems to be Bruce Wayne. But we know that that is not real. So then we get into issue 3, some Lady White backstory. All these issues start out the same with a little story. Once upon a time that was and was not, when the 13th beast devoured the abandoned sacrament. So this part here is always the same. What was and was not. So we're still in this alternate reality. She's trying to figure out what's going on, why she's here with Bruce of all people. But Bruce doesn't know that she's Zatanna, even though they have met in main continuity. So then we see the blue demon has been captured by Brother Knight, and this is where the torture starts for him, because he needs his blood, essentially. All right, so we're back into everything, and we realize this alternate reality, this Bruce Wayne, was Clayface, guys, and Clayface is trying to atone for his past, and the Lady White has promised him his family back if he does as she says, and that is to basically trap and get Zatanna. So there's this big fight, and Zatanna's trying to free her, or free him, but he also is imbued with this magical spear, as you can see here. And she realizes there's no saving him. Well, she can, but she can't, because the magical sword in her chest is stopping her from using any of her magic. It's actually an insane story, guys. So then we get into issue 4. We see, well, actually before that, we see Lady White and Brother Knight having their first disagreement, because yeah, they are on different paths, but trying to do it together. Well, technically the Brother Knight has the Lady White captured with some sort of magical spell. And then this is the part that my buddy told me about that I was so excited about. Etrigan is in this book, but only for like this page. So that's all we see of Etrigan the Demon. But I cannot wait for that new Etrigan ongoing of DC Next Level. Can't wait for that, guys. So she gets this letter. She doesn't know what it is, but it's basically a meeting place for her to meet with the Brother Knight at his palace. Basically, this party he's throwing, which is basically a magical showdown for Zatanna to walk into as a trap. But as you can see here, she's cracking apart due to this sword that is stuck within her. And we find out what that sword is later, but yeah, she's going through it right now, guys. This is just such an awesome book, in my opinion. The art is so amazing. This little demon here helps her understand what the letter is, and then he cracks it open. To the great Zatanna Zatara, we would be honored to have you as our guest of honor at the next Night of Desires, presented by Brother Knight and the Lady White. So that's where we go. The Crimson Palace, which we find is a living being, consumes the Brother Knight, and Zatanna is there to perform. And she still can't use her magic, so it's kind of funny. But she throws a freaking show in this place, guys. She tears everything up. They bring out the blue demon. Zatanna is like, no, she needs to save him. She tries to save him, but a possessed Adam is there due to the Brother Knight and Lady White's magic. It's honestly a crazy, mind-bending story, guys, because he's dead, but he's not dead. He's under control. He can be saved. No one freaking knows what's going on here. And then Clayface at this point has turned to help Zatanna, and this is when the sword starts to communicate with Zatanna. This is a big turning point in the story because the sword can communicate with her. She doesn't know who it is, but she does figure out who it is, and she will escape this eventually. Like, this awesome page here, the end of issue 4 is so awesome. It shows us that she can turn against this power, and she will eventually, but it's not quite yet. So here's some more backstory about Giovanni Zatara and Zatanna Zatara and their wife, how he lost his wife, and he regrets that, and he really doesn't care for Zatanna as a child, and that sits with her for the rest of her life, basically. These awesome art pages, guys. You need to read this book. I'm skipping over a lot of the context here just because you guys need to read this. I don't want to spoil it. The sword is telling her to wake up. And the Lady White, she's talking with the Lady White, and she is in bad shape now because of this sword, guys, but she prevails. Zatanna prevails, guys, and it is so awesome. She even breaks through the comic at this point. This is like some unfinished pages. Zatanna is breaking through. This was really cool. This is like some fourth wall dimension breaking stuff that I can barely comprehend, but it is so awesome for this book. I didn't know she was able to do this or how often she does that. But she's in this mindscape right now trying to figure out who the sword is or the personality within the sword that she's talking to. And it turns out it is her mother. And this was an awesome reconciliation, guys, because she misses her mother so much. And her mother basically tells her how to win and how to finish off this magical performance that she has to put on. We also get some backstory on the sword itself, how it is Loki's sword, the serpent sword from Asgard. And oh my god, guys, this art is just phenomenal. The Brother Knight is done for. Lady White dragged me out of my grave, made me a vampire, even though she just wanted to live in peace in the grave. And she pulls off the thing that is allowing Brother Knight to control her off. So now she is free. And yeah, now it's really Lady White and the Shadow Queen versus Brother Knight, guys. This is just such a good book. On to the final issue here. This is where everything ties up. Zatanna frees herself of the sword, makes a pact with Lady White to go against the Shadow Queen, because the Shadow Queen is the one who has been at the center of this problem the whole time. The palace consumes Brother Knight, and they don't know what happens with him after that, but they kind of just let it be because they don't want to mess with the palace. We get this awesome fight scene, or what seems to be a fight scene, with all the Justice League. Etrigan shows back up, my man. Wonder Woman's here, Batman's here, Dr. Fate's here. The Blue Demon is here. I think at some point he shows up. Oh yeah, this is the Blue Demon right here. They're in his mind, seeing what the Shadow Queen, or the sword, shows him, because it shows you your worst fears. That's basically the power of Loki's sword when it stabs you. And she brings him the lasso of truth to show that he did the right thing in taking the Blue Demon's skin, and he also prevails. This is awesome. An awesome conclusion to the side story with Blue Demon and Zatanna, how she didn't want his help and how he saved her, and now he saved her, and now she's saving him again. And it's awesome, guys. We see the Lady White going against Zatanna, but eventually they get into her mind and see her worst fears. And then they kind of like team up to defeat the Lady Shadow, the Shadow Lady, because they have no other choice. And then Zatanna essentially lets Lady White go as well. Just says, don't cross my path or we'll have to handle you accordingly. And yeah, guys, this is how it ends. Zatanna, it's showtime. She's back healthier than ever with the Blue Demon, with all of her friends. And yeah, guys, this was an awesome book. There's some awesome covers here. To conclude, as always in these trades, they have a cover showcase at the end. So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the review. Next clip, we're going to talk about my final thoughts of this book, what made me pick it up, and what made me, want to read it, essentially. So yeah, I'll see you in the next clip, and thanks for watching, of course, but it's not over yet. It's only beginning of Zatanna. It's showtime, because we have a new ongoing to cover and short comic reviews. As soon as I get issue 1, we'll probably do both together or something. So stay tuned for the next clip where I go over my final thoughts of Zatanna. It's showtime. All right, guys, I'm back with the final clip of this video. My final thoughts on Zatanna. It's showtime, guys, and I thoroughly loved this book. I mean, not a single issue was under a 4.5 out of 5 for me. There was a couple 4.5s, but there was more 5 out of 5s. Jamal Cambell really carries this book. I understand why they gave him a new ongoing writing and drawing, because it's just that good. I'm new to Zatanna. I don't read too much DC. Like, I'm reading the Absolute Universe. I have a Batman omnibus waiting for me, but this was my first collected edition of a DC book that I have ever read. I'm new to Zatanna, so this was awesome. It gives you like some backstory to her while it's doing its own thing with the Lady White, the Brother Knight, Zatanna, the Blue Demon. It does a great job at tying everything together. I really love this book. I'm going to keep tapping into Zatanna, maybe even get the Zatanna omnibus that's out or coming out. Not sure. We'll see how things go, if I can get it for cheap. But I'm super duper excited to read the new ongoing. Once I get issue 1, I had to order it. I checked 4 comic shops around me, 1 in Akron, 4 closer to me. But yeah, I just couldn't find issue 1, so I had to order it. I had to pay that pesky shipping, guys. But overall, this trade is a 5 out of 5 for me. I highly recommend this. I got recommended this at work because I was thinking about getting the ongoing, but I didn't know if I needed to read this. Apparently you don't really, but it's good to have. So yeah, guys, read this if you want. I highly recommend it. This is a 5 out of 5 for me, and that's my thoughts. I really enjoyed it. The art's amazing. The art is so complex. It kind of reminds me of Skinbreaker in complexity, but it is so different. It is so good. This guy, Jamal Cambell, is talented as hell, guys. And read this for yourself. Of course, I know I've said it a few times already, but read this, read this, read this. 5 out of 5 easily as a whole. All 6 issues averaged out is definitely a 5 out of 5 book in my mind. I loved it so much. And yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next review.